So I think the thing that we look for in a legal service provider is proactivity. That they've got to really understand our business and they've got to be really proactive about it. So I think if I give you some really good examples of where law firms have just been fantastic for us, is as a GC of a company, it's my job to look after the legal interests of the organisation, and part of that will be kind of interrupt driven, where there's a crisis or there's a stressful scenario and I need to go and speak to a law firm. And part of it is also just the proactive work that I need to put in place. So it might be thinking about what the corporate structure of the organisation should look like, or some new HR policies, or a new intellectual property strategy, or whatever it is, and kind of kicking off that work. Now, I might know I need to know what to do, but it's much easier for me if a trusted firm contacts me and says, now's about the right time you should be thinking about this thing. So an example would be one of our firms contacted me and said, I've had a look at some of the IP registers and there are some of your assets which I'd have expected you to have registered and you haven't done so. I recommend that you do so, and this will be your plan of action, rather than waiting for me to say, please can you help us register these assets. And that kind of proactivity is really worth its weight in gold, because it means that the firm's really looking out for the whole interests of my company, and not just reacting to the instructions that I give to them.
So, of course, working for Barclays, we're a big, large institution, and we have a very large ecosystem of legal supplier, not just law firm. That is adding some complexity for law firms in terms of winning, retaining in our business, because the world is evolving around. I think it's about, as well, not necessarily thinking there's one size fits all, but again, in order to retain or win our business, it's about understanding you can't just be good technical lawyers. Service delivery is going to be critical. So it's as much about how good technical skills, how excellent a lawyer you are, but also how you're going to deliver it to me in a commercially minded fashion, really understanding what is going to make the in-house lawyer life easier.
So I think technology is a bit of a double-edged sword. I think it's fantastic that we can free up time in the future. We hope we can free up time in the future by allowing firms to focus on the wisdom-based economy rather than just the routine tasks. But I think where it can go astray can be around the client relationship. I think if you try and commoditize the client relationship too greatly and you lose that detailed knowledge, then I think that can go wrong. So firms that want to retain work for me, and I know from other colleagues who work in-house, it's really about not losing that high-touch approach.
So without wishing to be glib, it's exactly the same as it is now, which is you need to find a way to deliver a sustainable competitive advantage for my business. And the way that we use our supply ecosystem is very much aimed at that. Now, the shift is that the skills and the approach that continue to deliver that competitive advantage are going to change over time and are going to be more enabled by systems and processes and looking at a legal relationship in its widest sense rather than just accuracy of legal advisory work.